Welcome back, Exiles. Here is a Bleed Ritualist with a twist, Path of Exile to build showcase. I'm going to show y'all two fights with Xesht. First being without the Velour BeetleBite Shoes, that which aggravates bleeding once enemies enter your presence. So here's a fight without, and after this I'll show y'all the fight with. There's a huge difference between the two. Also, I'll show y'all how I scaled bleeding with Rake to go from 12,000 or less to even 110,000. It's crazy. But stay tuned and watch the fights and I'll show y'all.
Oh shit. Is he about to use Blood Hunt?
And there you have it, Xesht fight with and without Velour Shoes. But let's see how much bleeding we can get with Rake. Right now we're sitting at 74, and then with Rage and Berserker we get maximum 112,000 bleeding damage per second, basically melting the boss's health away with damage over time. Okay, here are the three core skills for the Ritualist. Twister at 67,000 per use, Rake at 12,000 damage bleeding per second. Blood Hunt, we'll take a look at the explosion damage per use, 21,000. Okay, I unequipped my good spear, my uniques, and my amulet that gives me +3 levels. And I'll also show y'all Atalui's Bloodletting, basically converting mana to life cost, gain 2% extra physical damage per 10 life cost. That's where those levels come in handy, and drawing more mana cost or life cost, we'll call it. All right, we'll go over the spear. First thing I'm gonna switch out is the belt, of course, but I wanted to show y'all a spear I picked up. This is an in-game spear, or something you'll find at the beginning of an in-game, or something very, very cheap. Well, I'll show y'all my spear that I use right now. Also, the amulet I did switch out for this video, but here's my spear. Pretty insane damage. I bought it for 30 divine. Onslaught's very useful as well. That was one of those fractured mods. Gain 20% movement and skill speed if you kill enemy by chance. But here is the first increase in damage we see from our uniques, which is the Rylatha's Ornate Coil belt, whatever. I definitely butchered that name. When we're putting on BeetleBite Velour Shoes, doesn't really increase our damage, but watch once we equip the Constricting command, we went from 12,000 to 21,000. So we're at the 21, we're over the 20,000 bleeding damage per second threshold. Now, the best thing about this helmet is that it makes it to where it requires 5 fewer enemies to be surrounded. Basically, nobody has to be there for you to be surrounded. Kind of like the Deepest Tower helmet, where you are basically at low life at all times. However, with this helmet, we have 2 passive busters. We can also reach a 4th jewel. We can get the passive node Goring, essentially changing our amulet's anointment from Goring to Blood Tearing. Let me show y'all how Atalui's Blood DPS kind of scaling works. We're going to add an amulet that adds +3 levels to the attack skill, therefore adding life costs. Since every level you require more mana, and here we're going to equip our main spear. 57,000 bleeding damage per second. That's the mob setup. Here is the boss setup. With Brutality 3, we swap out Ancestral Call to get that near 75k bleeding damage per second. That's pretty insane. Let's talk about the other 2 skills. Twister at 17k, but that gets increased 80% per whirling/charge. Also, Blood Hunt is at 112k per explosion. Let me show y'all the last wave of the Delirium Pinnacle. Some of the mob mechanics. We have Ancestral Call instead of Brutality on Rake. Also generating a lot of rage with Whirling Slash, about 9 rage, I want to say. We have that rage support on Whirling Slash, but also don't forget the 80% increase in Twister damage per Whirling Slash stage. So up to 3, that's about 240% per Twister damage. But also when mobbing, you can think of rares and bosses such as Omniphobia or Causus as kind of bombs when you blood hunt, because it is AoE, and if you are you'll always be surrounded with the helmet, but in actual literal terms, you can use it as a detonator. When mapping and mobbing, it's important to note that we change Berserk with Combat Frenzy to make sure we have the right support. This is going to generate frenzy charges, and when we consume those frenzy charges with Barrage, they're going to generate more twisters along with our combo of Whirling Slash, where we can choose to use 1 to 3 times. Last thing about Twister and Brutality and their interaction is that Twister has Poison and Corrosion, breaking the armor, while Brutality has Exploit Weakness, dealing 40% increased damage, consuming the broken armor. But if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I'll be posting more content soon. Hope y'all have a good day. Bye.